Hey guys, hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today it's April Fool's Day, as you guys know, so I wanted to continue the What If series of videos with a more light-hearted video, but I'm still going to make the story as realistic as possible. So what if General Grievous was not shorter than Anakin Expected? Remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more what if videos on more serious topics like what if Kylo Ren never turned to the dark side. Anakin Skywalker's confrontation with General Grievous aboard his ship in the Battle of Coruscant was a pivotal moment in Revenge of the Sith, and made it so that Anakin and Grievous could have never met prior to this point, including the entirety of the Clone Wars. So if General Grievous was not shorter than Anakin Expected, that would allow the two to come face to face on multiple occasions throughout the Clone Wars, resulting in a significantly different outcome for the war. Let's take the story right back to the Battle of Geonosis. As the Jedi are surrounded by the newly created droid armies of Count Dooku, only moments away from surrender or death, their reinforcements arrive. The secretly created clone army of the Republic arrive at the command of Grand Master Yoda to rescue the captured Jedi. The Jedi begin to fight side by side with their new clone reinforcements, but they are not the only ones to have reinforcements. Count Dooku sends a comms link message to General Grievous requesting immediate assistance on the planet of Geonosis. As Grievous is already stationed nearby and is familiar with the planet of Geonosis, he has no trouble arriving at the location of the battle. Grievous bursts onto the scene of the battle, brutally slaughtering hordes of clones as he pushes his way through to the Jedi, who are fighting back to back in the center of the arena. The Jedi fight off the droids fiercely, but there is one thing that they could not anticipate: General Grievous. Grievous shreds through the Jedi forces in the center of the arena while blocking and deflecting every single blaster bolt being fired towards him with his vast collection of lightsabers. His cybernetic eyes eventually glow brightly with a purple reflection. Mace Windu's blade makes a loud screech as they contact Grievous's lightsabers and fight. Grievous stops for a moment to comment on the fighting style of Mace Windu.
General Windu, you make a wonderful fighter. I see the anger and rage of the dark side within you.
Grievous then shockingly slices the head of Mace Windu off, just as Mace had done to Jango Fett only moments prior. Grievous then shifts his gaze to the few remaining Jedi. Among these Jedi are the likes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Plo Koon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and of course, Anakin Skywalker.
Jedi filth! I will end this war before it begins.
One by one, the Jedi approach Grievous, each being struck down by his large collection of lightsabers. Grievous even severed the mask of Plo Koon, leading him to suffocate in the oxygenated atmosphere of Geonosis, before piercing his lightsabers through every single one of the remaining Jedi except Anakin Skywalker and his master, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
General Skywalker, you are just as I expected.
As master and apprentice fight side by side, Grievous notes,
General Kenobi, you are too predictable.
Before slicing his hand off and cleanly removing his head from his body. Jesus Christ, and this is supposed to be an April Fool's what if. General Grievous used the memories of his previous battles with Kenobi throughout the Clone Wars to predict his attacks. Anakin screams with an overwhelming pain, mirroring his reaction to when he found out about the death of his mother at the hands of the Tusken Raiders. Anakin ignites his newly acquired green lightsaber with the intention of ending General Grievous before he could do any more damage to the Jedi and to the Republic. He was then stunned in place for a brief moment as Grievous shifted his gaze towards Padme. As Grievous begins his slow stroll towards Padme, he deflects the blaster fire of Padme's puny pistol back in the direction of Anakin. Anakin sprints towards Padme, begging Grievous not to harm the love of his life. Grievous callously responds,
She makes you weak, Skywalker. I will end your weakness.
Anakin winces over in pain as Grievous swiftly moves his blade through the torso of Padme, killing her in an instant. Anakin hugs the lifeless body of Padme as Grievous makes his escape with Count Dooku. He refuses to let go as Master Yoda arrives to pick him up in his gunship. Yoda's clone troopers then pull the inconsolable Anakin aboard the ship and return him to Coruscant before a briefing with Chancellor Palpatine about the events that took place on Geonosis. Anakin, alongside Master Yoda, enters the Chancellor's office to deliver the briefing on their tragic situation, relaying the fact that 95% of the Jedi leadership had been wiped out, including the entirety of the Jedi High Council except Master Yoda. Palpatine is visibly upset with the situation, but this time he's not faking it like you may think. Although he is very pleased with the destruction of the Jedi Order, his grand plan for the creation of the Empire was now ruined, but not beyond salvage. Palpatine holds a moment of silence for the fallen Jedi before asking to speak with Anakin alone. Master Yoda obliges, leaving Palpatine to console Anakin for his loss and enlighten him on how the teachings of the dark side may be able to help his situation. Anakin begs Palpatine for more knowledge, demanding that he teach him how to bring Padme back. This marks the turn of Anakin Skywalker to the dark side in the new timeline. Anakin pledges himself to the teachings of Darth Sidious and takes on the title Darth Vader, hoping to save Padme from her death. Following Anakin's pledge, Palpatine orders him to kill Grandmaster Yoda, but Anakin refuses to do so because Master Yoda was the one who saved his life on Geonosis. Respecting Anakin's decision but quietly abhorring his lack of commitment to the dark side, Palpatine calls Yoda back into his office and sends Anakin outside. At this point, Palpatine reveals himself as the Sith Lord that the Jedi had been looking for and duels Master Yoda in his office. Think of this fight as a hybrid between Palpatine's fight with Mace Windu and his original fight with Yoda from Revenge of the Sith. Yoda is eventually defeated but not without a strong fight. After this, Anakin is left feeling unsure about Palpatine's killing of Yoda but is assured that it was for the greater good and will aid in his quest to return Padme from the dead. Palpatine then immediately calls an emergency session of the Senate to deliver a galaxy-changing speech, which has the support of the vast majority of the Senate. Palpatine's original grand plan is now complete, just not in the way he thought it would unfold. He has become the Emperor of the Galaxy and has now obtained the Chosen One as his dark-side apprentice to help him enforce his Iron Fist rule on the galaxy. On top of this, Darth Vader is left uninjured and able to fully utilize his potential in the dark side of the Force. The untold power that Vader now possesses scares Palpatine a great deal, but over the course of his rule will make it extremely difficult for Vader to kill him because he will hold Anakin's only hope of saving Padme in front of him. And that is the very twisted version of what would happen if Grievous and Anakin had already met prior to their encounter in Revenge of the Sith. That is the story of the events that would take place if General Grievous was not shorter than Anakin Expected. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button for more what if videos, definitely on more serious storylines in the future, so just remember to hit the subscribe button and we'll cover way more serious topics in the future. Also remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and leave a comment down below. Thanks again for watching, cheers guys.